Everyday superpower where we talk body language, relationships, game, everything in between. Go put you on some game, go put you on some social dynamics. Gonna allow you to perceive things the way they are. She wants a leader. She's attracted to the leader. To lead is a masculine principle. To lead is to be the head of the household. To lead is to be the man. In religious terms, some say that the man is led by God. Okay, whereas the woman is led by the man and the children are led by the women, right? Natural order of things. Whether you like it or not, it portrays itself through any household across the world, any culture, any perspective and perception of what's right or wrong. It doesn't matter. So, you hear pimp terminology. You apply the idea of being a pimp. Oh, most men do. Oh, that's pimping. Oh, he's a pimp, him. All this and that. It's never said in a negative way unless it's within the realms of, illegal operation. If it's like sex trafficking and so forth, then it's a problem. But in the realm of, like slang and whatnot, to be a pimp is a good thing, right? The pimp is the leader. Pimp position doesn't necessarily mean that you are working in the lifestyle per se of pimping and hoeing. Your boss is pimping you. His boss, her boss is pimping her. The owner of the organization, the CEO, is the pimp that overlooks all. He's in pimp position. And to be in pimp position means that you've got some hoes, i.e. salespeople, i.e. people under you who distribute a product of such, whether it be a physical product that they financially pay for, whether it be, doing your bidding one way or another, through whichever means, to tricks or johns. And the trick is the consumer of the product, right? All serve purpose and engage and need each other within this ecosystem. But the woman, generally speaking, is going to be biologically attracted to the leader, the top of the pyramid, okay? So when you introduce your wife to your boss, yes, who might be a little bit older than you, a bit more experienced, definitely makes more money than you, can fire you, there's going to be a trigger flicked inside of her that spurs her to be a little more submissive to this man, because the societal dynamic is reality, okay? Don't introduce your boss to your missus, is what I'm trying to say. But we're talking about leadership qualities here, because such as pimping and hoeing is a thing, there is creating and consuming. And most people are consumers. Most men are consumers, right? You are more than likely a consumer as opposed to a creator. The path of the creator is hard because you have to go against the societal norm, and you need to create something of substance, and you need to garner attention for that item of substance, whether you perceive it as such or you need to market it as such. You have to go through the trials, the tribulations, the potential of failure, and failure means social Darwinism. You're dead, you're gone, you can't procreate, you're a bum, you've not monetized, you're homeless, your situation has gone west, you've stressed yourself out, you've gone psycho, your mental health's gone down the drain because you've tried it, you've failed. And then if that is who you are naturally, and you have to end up being a consumer, being a hoe, being a subordinate in a workplace as opposed to owning the workplace, as opposed to establishing your own business, it's going to kill you, because there's going to be a friction between who you are and where you've been placed. It's going to be a painful life. So it's not great to be a leader, but that is why she's interested in the leader as well as other factors, because you show a higher sense of self. You show a incredible display of not only self-understanding but applicable knowledge through your endless trial and error that you have applied to ensure things work, to ensure you've got food in your mouth, to ensure that you are creating movement to your purpose, your desire, and what you need in life. Yes? Whereas the man who just consumes, gets his paycheck, goes home, consumes entertainment, to a degree he can bring comfort, dependent on where that woman is in life. You know, you're going to appeal more so to the woman who wants to settle down, as opposed to have a man who's taking risks, you know, albeit calculated risks. You're going to find yourself more comfortable given you are consistent within that realm of employment, and hopefully, you know, putting that money in the right place. You're going to start attracting women who are, you know, coming out of their prime years. Yes, when they reach 30 upwards and so forth, arguably like 28 upwards and whatnot, you know. But that's the way it is. That's the reality of it. And the reality of it is, even though you're going to be garnering more attention from these women who want to settle down and have a man who is just stable, she's still going to look at the man who is independent, who is a leader, who is a boss, who is fulfilling the masculine principle of independence and self-drive. She's still going to be naturally attracted to him in a way she's not attracted to you, because he showcases the masculine essence that her feminine essence needs to feel alive, right? People talk about, oh, he's a pimp. That's pimping. Oh, that's sick, that. Yeah, he's got all these women, he's a pimp and all this and that, and they look at it as a positive thing. But they say heavy wears the crown, right? That pimp isn't going out banging girls 24 hours a day. Probably does it a lot less than the man who's a trick, who just has the money and pays for it. You know, whether it be via dating or whether it be just quite honestly paying for the pum-pum, because he doesn't have the time to invest into that. He knows how valuable his time and energy is. And he knows if he takes his eye off of the ball momentarily, then things are going to come crashing down. He's going to lose momentum, and it's not going to be of any benefit to him or his future or the women in his life. So he has to continue investing within his business, within his idea, within his vision, to keep things moving along. He can't be spending time dating. He can't be spending time on the phone chatting. He can't be sat in front of the television watching a movie, enjoying life, right? So there is a misery that comes with it. There is a bitterness that comes with it. But given it's played right, the dopamine comes from a separate source, whereas the follower, the follower, the consumer, the trick, the hoe, garners a hit of dopamine, an escape from the unfortunate reality of being a bitch, real talk, by watching programs or playing games or scrolling social media. You know, they garner their escape from reality via there, and in doing so create an actual better bonding connection with their partner, because their partner are doing the same thing. You know, that woman doesn't have the masculine drive to be number one and to spend their entire life on a course of just creating something for the family that will be. You know, the woman does not have that biological imperative or drive, which is why there is a subversion of reality when they tell you, oh, women in the workplace and blah, blah, blah. No, it's just so they can tax the women. Feminism was utilized and weaponized, albeit a good thing to find common ground between the man and the woman. It was weaponized in order to tax both of the family members, in order to break up the family unit even more, to weaken the people who can't afford to have only one person in the workplace, right? That's the way it is. So I digress. That dopamine from the man who is leading comes from accomplishment, comes from conquering projects, comes from achieving the numerics and the response from that which he is wishing to attain. And then he continues moving on because it's short-lived, it's fleeting. Right? He can't just put another episode on and continue on. He needs to get back to work. He needs to continue forging himself through the fire. But do you not think that the hours invested into that, as opposed to through escaping, through the means of entertainment, and through consumerism, through buying new shoes, through, you know, buying Lego, through just mindless consumerism, do you not think that character, that entity, that essence, that spirit that resides within that man is something of fathoms above and beyond the man who doesn't. And that woman is going to engage with that leader and find fascination within the depths of who he is, and the fact that she can't work him out because she never will be able to work him out, because the moment she understands to the most degree his routine, what he does, what he engages in, how he invests his time, what his business is, who his relationships are, what his relationships are like, what his family's like, blah 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 blah, by the time she works it all out, he's already day by day by day by day by day rinsing and repeating and failing and learning from his mistakes and educating himself on his mistakes. The compound interest of his own intelligence through his own self-development, through his own trial and error, through his own drive to be someone more. She will never catch up with understanding that man. He will always be an item of fascination. He will always have something she hasn't uncovered. Whereas the man who is consuming, the man who is stable, the man who is marriage material because he represents the fatherly figure, yeah, she will get bored of him because there will be nothing left to work out, nothing more to understand. Alike the movies they watch together, he will be like a movie she's seen 100 times before. She knows how he acts, how he operates, where he's going, and we all work in a pattern to some extent. But the leader digs deeper. The leader burrows consistently, searching for diamonds, searching for gold, living and learning. And if he doesn't go off on a different path, metaphorically speaking, if he doesn't delve into these different spaces, he is still finding depth in oneself. He is still going through this introspective, esoteric journey that verges on the spiritual that the consumer does not have. That's some game. Click like and subscribe on that piece.